Hello, everyone. Let's talk about something no one in PR likes to admit that most pitches do fail and they get ignored, deleted, or politely declined. And when that happens, the default reaction is usually one of the two things: blame the journalist or you blame yourself. But failed pitches are not personal failures, they are actually feedback. And if you approach them the right way, they become one of the most valuable growth tools in PR. Today, we are breaking down the real lessons from failed pitches without any blame, ego, or excuses. So let's get started. Redefining failure in PR. First, let's reframe something really important. A pitch not landing does not mean you are bad at PR, or the angle was stupid, or the journalist is biased, or the outlet hates your client. It usually means one of the three things: that it wasn't relevant right now, it wasn't differentiated enough, it didn't make the journalist's job easier. You need to understand that PR is contextual: timing, inbox, load, editorial calendar, breaking news. All of these factors are invisible to you. So instead of asking why this failed, you need to ask, what is this teaching me? There are seven common reasons why pitches fail. I wouldn't call them reasons or give them the idea of being a mistake. I would rather call them lessons. So let's understand the lessons, the common lessons that can uplift your PR campaigns. The first one is that your pitch was more about you and not the reader. If your pitch starts with, "We are excited to announce," or "Our company just launched," or "Our CEO believes," it's probably self focused. So, the lesson here is that journalists care about their audience and not your milestone. You need to reframe your pitch to, what problem does your pitch solve? Why does it matter now? What insight can only you provide? Because that is really, really important. Second reason or second lesson could be that the angle was too generic. Founder shares leadership tips. This is way too generic, and 10,000 other founders can literally answer this question. But if your angle could be written by anyone in your industry, it's not strong enough. So the lesson here is that specific beats general. So instead of writing something generic like "AI is transforming marketing," you can say, "We reduce CAC by 32% using AI driven creative testing. Here's what broke." You see the difference in the examples I just provided. The second one, that is the better one, has data, specificity, and thus it is more credible than the generic one, which is "AI is transforming marketing." That is something that literally any other entrepreneur or competitor of your niche can provide answer to. Third reason is your pitch didn't fit the journalist's beat. This one actually helps because it's avoidable. If a fintech journalist receives a wellness pitch, it's an automatic delete. So the lesson here is that relevance beats creativity every time. Before pitching, you need to ask yourself, have they covered this topic recently? Does this align with their last five articles? Are you adding something new? If the answer to this question is yes, then go ahead. If no, then you need to step back and change the angle or maybe the pitch, or sorry, the query itself. The next lesson is having a subject line that won't earn you the click. If the journalists are not opening your email or your pitches, it doesn't matter how good the pitch is. A weak story idea, interview opportunity, quick question. These are the weak subject line that can hinder your path of getting your email open. But if I talk about the stronger hooks or stronger subject lines, it could be something like 41% of SaaS founders cutting paid spend, or commentary on X funding slowdown. Clarity beats cleverness, and this is the lesson you are learning here with weak subject line, because you need to be clear with what insights are you providing in the actual pitch, and that is something that subject line provides the idea to the journalist. So your subject line needs to be not fancy but actually solid. The next reason is that your pitch was too long. If your pitch reads like a blog post, it's too much. Journalists usually scan, they don't read every word. So the lesson here is that shorter wins. 3 to 5 short paragraphs is very well and more than enough. Even like anything shorter is okay until it's providing clear value, it has no fluff, and no attachments unless requested. There are several journalists who are actually looking for a specific word count. You need to make sure what the instructions in the queries are there. If the journalists prefer 100 words, then go for it. But 3 to 5 short paragraphs is like a default thing that you can do if there is no word count situation mentioned. The next reason is that you don't have clear hook or takeaway. If the journalist has to figure out the story, trust me, they won't. You must hand them the angle, the code, the context, and make their job easy. So, the lesson here is you need to have the pre package inside. The next lesson would be that you need to understand it could be just bad timing because sometimes the angle is good, the outlet is right, the story is relevant, but something bigger broke that day and you lost. Trust me, that's not failure, that's news cycles. What you can do here is that you can repitch with an updated angle later, and that's the lesson you learn in point 7. Now, here's where small and smart PR teams separate themselves. After every 10 to 20 pitches, they do a review. You need to ask yourself that what subject lines got replies, what angles sparked engagement, which journalists opened but didn't respond, which topics consistently fail. You can create a simple pitch postmortem document, that's what I call it. You can also create a tracker to track all your activities related to the PR campaigns, and that is something I've already talked about in one of my previous videos, so you can go check that out as well. And the idea behind creating this pitch postmortem document or tracker is not to assign blame, but to spot the patterns, because patterns are where improvement lives. Emotional discipline in PR is another important aspect that you need to follow. And this part is actually very important because oftentimes rejection it triggers ego. It's easy to think that hey, they don't value our expertise, we deserve coverage, they always feature competitors. You need to understand that PR is not about deserving, it's about alignment. You need to detach your identity from the outcome. Instead of I failed, say that this version did land. And that mind shift changes everything. The next part is growth formula. Here's the real formula. Volume, reflection, iteration equals to better hit rate. It's not perfection, it's just iteration. Even the best PR professionals don't have 100% success rates, but what they have is they track, adjust, and refine. They improve their angle positioning, and over time, their conversion rate rises. A failed pitch is not a verdict, it's just a data. And if you approach PR like a system, not an emotional performance review, you will improve faster than teams who just keep sending without reflecting. So the next time a pitch gets ignored, don't spiral. Study it, refine it, send the next one stronger. Because in PR, growth doesn't come from wins alone, it comes from what you learn when you don't get them. If this episode resonated, share it with someone in PR who needs the reminder that we are not here to be perfect, we are here to get better. See you in the next one. Thank you.